Hello, I'm Dr. Terry Power, and I'd like to welcome you to my online voice workshop called Speaking with Power. So, a bit about me. Um, I have 4 degrees, including a PhD in performance practice, and I was a working actor for many years. I still hold my equity card, though. I like to be behind the scenes, and I like to train actors more than now being in the limelight, but sometimes I'm called upon to work on films and television shows and the theater. I'm a classically trained actor, so my interest in voice really comes from my own work with my instrument and building my voice for some massive stages. So, one of the biggest stages that I worked on was the Minack Theatre in England, in Cornwall, which is a massive stage made out of concrete. And to be able to project your voice there is quite astonishing. The other space is the Globe Theatre in London. That again, the acoustics are quite nice in that theater, but even still, to be able to perform Shakespeare, sometimes if you're in a lead role, being on stage for hours at a time and sometimes doing 2 shows a day, and Shakespeare's works are notoriously long, you really need to have one really solid instrument to be able to keep speaking. And when your voice is your livelihood, you have to take care of it. So I developed a lot of work from the experts that I worked with, and you'll see in some of my notations on the documents that I'll share with you where some of my exercises are coming from, and those practitioners that shared those with me, and then I developed them further, and I have my own exercises that I've included. So that's really where it comes from. I also was top speaker in the state of California in 1992, so I do have a public speaking background. I used to compete on the forensics team, and I was 4th in the nation that year, but I am very proud of the fact that I got top speaker for my public speaking skills. And it'll begin with an introduction to voice. So even if you've never worked with your voice before, this is all new to you, I'm going to go through some real foundational fundamentals, which will include how you're going to move through the class structure, so that you'll be taking a look at different videos that I'll be making, and we'll be focusing on different aspects of the voice. And then there'll be exercises and homework for you to do each week. And because I suggest that you just take your time with it and build along the way. There'll be 12 videos in all, and there'll be some handouts that you'll also need to print out and to read along so that you can understand some of the aspects that I'm introducing. And that should assist you, and then that way you don't have to keep referring. Once you know some of the exercises, you don't have to keep referring back to the videos. I'm not sure how often you can do that, but hopefully as much as you need to. Some of the things that we'll look at will be making our voices stronger, making them clearer, different ways in which we can make our speech more dynamic and with energy, how we can speak with energy, how we use our whole instrument, which is everything, because many people believe that the voice is just right here in our voice box or the larynx, but actually the voice is the entire body. So I'm going to teach you how to use the entire instrument, how to tune your instrument, and then how to play your instrument when speaking. We'll be talking about vocal hygiene, how to care for your instrument, and then we will get really into the nitty-gritty of when you have a speech to give and how to really enliven that speaking for public audiences or maybe in private events, however you think you are going to be using your voice. Some of it will even be real personal things, so you might have little tics that you want to overcome, and I'm going to be able to help you to do that should you follow along and watch all the videos and then do your homework. By the end of the series, I'll be asking you to submit to me a little bit of work. So that final submission will be you recording yourself giving a really good speech. And then I hopefully will be able to give you the feedback that you need for that, and then you can work further to develop your voice. So here's an important lesson for the day. I think that it's a good idea to record yourself as you speak and to do it quite often so that you can hear your voice, you can hear the clarity, you can hear the tone, you can hear the speed. Are you having a personable approach, etc.? I just reviewed the video that I shot earlier and I hear all of my vocal tics. So, for example, the happening as I'm thinking about what I'm about to say. Now, this happens often because we're improvising, we're being natural, we want to, be open and personable, and yet maybe we haven't memorized what we're going to say in our speeches. That will happen. It often happens with lecturers in, university settings, etc. So it's important that we be aware of that. So one of the first exercises that I'm going to ask you to do is to sit down with your voice and record it now. Then you can play it back at the end of our sessions together, and you can think about what has developed in your own speaking. How are you speaking differently? With more power? Are you speaking with clarity and power? I hope so. That's my goal for you. And have you started to eliminate some of those vocal tics that come up? Do you say a lot? Do you say you hear what I'm saying? Are there a lot of ums and ahs, pauses, too much running fast through your speech? For example, those things do come up as we're grasping at our thoughts and speaking to others. And we definitely want to be aware of it when we're public speaking or we're on the stage and all eyes are on us and we're in that kind of environment. But what about when you're just sitting, as often we are, with people and we are wanting to get our point across? We will get our point across with strength and clarity if we can just be more conscious about our speaking and practice speaking with intent. So to clarify, your first task is to have conscious speaking. You are going to record yourself speaking. You're going to speak with intent and to speak consciously for the next week. I want you to listen and observe yourself in the speech act, to note how you sound. Are you clear? Are you powerful? And are you saying what you need to say? Or do you have all of those little vocal tics? Take a note of it and then review that at the end of the course. Thank you for taking the class, and I hope you enjoy it.